My first job after I got my medical degree was as an au pair in San Diego. I got paid $4 an hour, and although it wasn't the regular path one will follow after becoming a doctor, it was the path I chose to fulfill a childhood dream of learning a new language and living abroad in California. Good morning. The first months were really hard. It was all new and I was struggling financially and felt really lonely. After a few months, most of my friends started working in their new medical residency. They were finally getting paid a good salary, and all those years studying were paying off for all of them. Comparison came later, and I started to question my life decisions and the situation I put myself on. And many times I felt like a failure and disappointed in myself. Luckily, Pepe was in Los Angeles, working in an architecture office, and a few months later, I moved with him. I was studying the last exams before starting my medical residency in the US, but still had another 2 years of preparation before being able to apply for a medical job. It was at that time when I realized that I had spent the last 10 years of my life pursuing a career that I thought could bring me happiness one day, but instead I was never able to reach it. I didn't enjoy spending 12 hours a day sitting in a desk studying while being isolated. And that month I decided to take a babysitting job to save money and pursue an art career. I had made my first wallet and a few canvas bags that slowly were able to sell online. After a year working babysitting, we saved enough to pay for a sewing machine and applied to sell our products in a craft fair for the very first time. We sold most of the handbags and wallets we made, and while it was a success, our financial situation was very unstable. We had to rely on Pepe's income, while I worked full-time on building our brand. All the profits we made selling our handmade products were directly invested in growing our small business during the next year. After 2 years working on it, we both knew that as scary as it looked, we loved working for ourselves. We worked weekends and didn't take holidays, but for us, it was all worth it because we were investing that time in ourselves. A few years later, after saving enough to feel comfortable, Pepe quit his job in the architecture firm and we moved back to Europe. where we had health insurance after many years without being able to afford one and could afford living with a lower income while working as self-employees. Everything started looking good for us, and our brand had a good couple of years. But then, in 2019, wholesale orders were not only not growing, but decreasing, and all those years working to have some financial stability started to fall down. We were back to square one, and in those months our only car broke down, and we didn't know what could be next for us. Lucky enough, we still had lots of products in stock, and during that year we went back on the road to sell all of them in different craft fairs and online sales events. All that money went into a savings account and into an old van that we decided to convert it into a full-time home. Our plan was to live in our camper van full-time. This way we could save on rent and bills while figuring out what to do next. And that summer we moved full-time into the camper van while still working and selling the stock we had left.
The seedlings are all finished, and the last thing that I will do today before finishing the day is to plant my bulb onions. I placed an order of different varieties of bulb onions and different varieties of potatoes thanks to all my Patreons. So thank you so much guys for making this possible. It's the first time that I plant my onions from bulbs, so I'm really excited about this. I ordered enough onions to store for all year long, as well as the potatoes. I could have put the onions directly in the soil, but because all of this is going to be planted in the big food forest that I'm starting, the soil is still not ready, so that's why I'm putting them here first to help them sprout. And once that I'm able to finish fixing the soil, I will transplant everything there.
Then 2020 happened. We found ourselves with no physical home where to park our home on wheels, and we knew right away what we were looking for. We had to become as self-sufficient as we possibly could in terms of skills, renewable energy and food. And after much search, we finally found a little piece of land where we could build all of it from scratch. Before moving to our land at the end of 2020, we did the last online sales event and closed our business for good. The first year, we were still living off those savings, and we didn't really know how we could make an income while affording living in such a remote area. We started sharing our journey through videos, and after a year building our tiny house, vegetable garden, and making online videos, we were able to connect with so many lovely people. I realized that by sharing the passion and love I have for nature and gardening, I could inspire others to pursue that same dream. And finally, last year, I decided to launch my Farm to Table Garden Guide, an online guide where I explain how we design our garden and the principles we use to grow our food organically and to maximize the space and food production. Today, after many months of work, I'm finally able to share with you all my farm-to-table garden online masterclass, a more than 1 hour long class where I explain and share all you need to start or improve your garden. How to start a spring-summer garden when you haven't had one before, and how to do it when you already have one and would like to improve your gardening techniques. Succession planting, how I make my own compost, and everything that I have learned during the past years. And I have been able to launch them thanks to Squarespace, the platform that I have used to launch my farm-to-table garden guide last year. And finally today, I can share with you all the launch of my masterclass. Their beautiful and functional templates allowed me to do so seamlessly. While they handle the logistic, I'm able to focus in my garden and creating new content. They will help you to stand out with a beautiful website, thanks to the many different features they offer. If you would like to start your own website or online store, go to squarespace.com/Eugenia Diaz for a free trial and a 10% off your first order of a website or domain. I will leave all the links in the description box and look forward to seeing you creating beautiful things.